All right, so welcome to the r/danganronpa miscellaneous podcast, and of course, this is in the 20 question series. And today, our guest is SaladJokes, laughing at salad. I'm just gonna refer to him as Salad. But
Yep, anyone is fine.
how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, you Canadian fuck?
Well, I'm having a pretty good day. I'm tired. I'm kidding. I'm not actually that tired. I'm
Yeah,
just hungry.
yeah. No, I'm tired just in general. Like it's become a personality trait at this point. You'll learn. You'll get there.
Yep. We already answered question one, basically, which is what is your name? So,
Yeah, we've already started off strong. The thing about 20 questions is that I listened to the one you did with Haji Meme, and some of it can be relatively spread out. You can
right.
go into a bit in depth with some of the answers, but as soon as you put a two-digit number up there, I'm just thinking like, right, rapid fire. But no, you actually probably will maybe want to get a decent amount of time out of a podcast like this. So
I
it's
mean,
just
the thing
these
is,
are
with 20 questions, I want to, like, as long as the guest wants it, basically, is what I want to say.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Without taking, like, 10 minutes per question, and then I'll shoot. I'm not taking I mean, 10 minutes per question, though.
No, well, I mean, you did say as long as the guest wants. You really put your foot in it for that one.
Okay, fine. As long as the, yeah, as long as the guest wants to a limit, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't want to put anyone else through that hell. So yeah, let's just do it as it
Uh,
comes.
All right. Well, we already answered question one, so let's go to question two. So, where did you grow up?
I grew up and still live in my hometown, a small city in the southwest of England. So
Ooh.
pretty far away. I might be the first person involved in. Where was is hockey from somewhere else?
I know hockey is from. I don't know. I forgot where hockey is from. I know he's in Asia.
Oh, okay. But first European at least. So yeah,
Yeah.
suck it, fellow Europeans.
Yeah. Poor Kami, poor of our staff team.
Yes, I know that they are as well, or at least same time zone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
There's a few of us, but you'll know about it. It'll be a British invasion all over again.
I only know like two though, so I mean just you and Kami.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, the rest of us are there.
Oh yeah,
Just
good point.
just quietly.
All right, let's go to question number three, and this is a very controversial question.
Yep.
Do you think you are epic?
Okay, so counter question. We're already sort of going to get into the philosophical stuff. By what metric is epic measured?
Um,
Cool? Is it based on being a good person?
I I'm gonna say yeah, probably mostly on being like just a good person that's not mean. That's just this.
Because I like to think that I'm not a complete shithead ass face.
Yeah,
I like to think I'm at least doing my best to be a good person as each day goes by. And I'm I'll be straight up with it now. I'm 27 years old. I've had time to get
right.
sort of work those kinks out and just try and be the best me. So as far as that being epic goes, I'm trying. As far as being cool goes, no, I gave that up a long time ago.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to just be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, for me, I'd say epic is mainly based on do people like not mind hanging out with you? That's basically hanging out with you, sorry, and that's
I,
basically
I like to think they're fine with it.
yeah. As long as like you're
I
not
haven't
like
been
a
told otherwise.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to question four. So like let's go back to Reddit. So like, what would you say you're known for?
So currently, the sort of stuff I post, particularly in the Danganronpa sub, it's kind of the only one I'm active in at this point.
Right,
The first regular thing I did was the maybe daily Danganronpa characters as Mii's
right. I remember
made on
that.
the Nintendo Switch, and that was like 45 of those. Like I tried to get every main character from the Killing Games,
Right.
and obviously there's only a certain number of characters. That sort of thing is going to have a shelf life, unless you're whoever it is who does the Skinny Legend, who's now on to like 140 something. That's
Holy.
insanity. But now, now I make Despair News Network (DNN),
Great series.
and it obviously came about after you wrapped up making The Onion,
Right.
and this isn't actually something I've talked to you about, but the whole reason I started doing something like this is because I still had things I was going to send to you to use for
Oh,
DR
that's
Onion. So just ideas for like headlines, jokes, stuff like that. Then you posted saying like you were probably going to end it. I still had a small stockpile of jokes, and I'm just like, hold on. Now I have a use for it. So
yeah. Might as well use it, right?
and I did, like you've said as well, like you also view it as like the spiritual successor, which I'm appreciative of, because it was obviously derived from the idea that you came up in the first place.
Yeah.
Like it's not every day that I would thrive on the positive affirmation of someone, but this time I'm going to take it.
Right. For me, I mean, like with good old DR Onion, right? I had to end it. It
Building-
was kind of sad, right? I was
Yeah,
like, there's no way I can keep paying for Photoshop because I basically leached it off someone. I think I talked about this in the first podcast.
you did mention it in podcast 1, and not gonna lie, kind of a funny story.
Yeah. But since I had to end it, right? I'm like, oh man, I kind of wish someone like could continue this in a way. So kind of when I saw your series, I'm like, I'm gonna appreciate this. But then it was, I believe,
I appreciate that.
yeah, but I believe it was your second DNN where it was like Chiaki with like the civilization thing or whatever.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
that one for
People
some
like that one
reason,
apparently.
I really like that one for some reason. So I'm like, okay, this is the official successor now.
I know, like when I'm especially adding like a subtitle as well, trying to just in as many small jokes as possible. Just I don't know. I'm definitely playing on the format that was originally brought in by yourself for the Arunion, but then
Yeah,
as well trying to trust in my own sense of humor to create things that are funny and for people to enjoy.
right. You have the advantage of a subtitle too. You can like add on to your joke. While with Onion, it was only
Yeah, you
the
can sort of
headline.
expand on things, and like
Right.
mostly I just added that on because when I went to the CNN website to get a template of how they lay things out,
Right.
it had a subtitle on it, so I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, that's how I came up with the onion template. I literally just screenshotted the onion and then like cut off some start parts and made
No,
a template.
same.
Yep. Yeah, it's the best way.
It's
Uh,
so damn easy.
yeah. Okay, let's go to question 5. So, why did you join Reddit in the first place?
I remember exactly when I joined Reddit. It was probably 2017 at some point that I first started using it. And of a funny story, not overly funny. When I first found out about Reddit, it was through a lot of people posting about the r/roast me
Right.
subreddit,
I
where
oh yeah, there's a lot of videos.
people will people post pictures of themselves and every insulting them,
Right.
but also trying to do it in a funny way. And for me, like as someone who has relied on their humor and tried to hone it and make it, entertaining for people, I thought I can
Yeah.
insult a couple people, see if I've still got it. But yeah, that's ended up in a mean place after a while. So sometimes with the best intentions, but
Yeah.
not the sort of positive vibe you want to be clinging to a long time. And of course, then I expand on interests.
Yeah. I want to kind of expand on how I joined Reddit because I never did with the Hajime
Go
one.
for it.
Yeah, but I think what I originally did is actually no funny thing before I joined Reddit, like as a kid, I kind of got 4chan and Reddit mixed up, and I thought like Reddit was this evil place where all the white racists and stuff like that come in.
I mean, you go to certain places, it's exactly the same. The crowds just go where there's populace,
Right.
as a
So all
community.
so for like super long as a kid, I was like, I'm only gonna go on Reddit when I turn like 13 or something. And then I joined Reddit, right? And I was like, so I just joined a few video game subs, I believe. Yeah, I think so. Actually, no, probably the first one I think I did was like was a wrestling WWE sub,
Oh, like
probably.
Squared Circle, something like that?
Yeah. Oh no, I think it was a wrestling game. So and I've been like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. But I joined that first. I didn't get any upvotes on my posts, so like for a while I stopped, and then I found r baseball, then r danganronpa, and that's where I am now. So like basically, I'm gonna say like I joined it originally. I didn't like it at first, and then like a couple years later, I went back to it.
Because if you're posting things to a specific community, like as much as it's still just imaginary internet points, it can feel like you're sort of lost in the void
Right.
to a degree, and like it's probably. I don't want to get into a long conversation about how our brains become hardwired by social media, but it's still a positive affirmation thing.
Right. I don't know. I'm all
And
about that Reddit clout.
yeah, since I've started stealing your ideas, I've been getting a good amount of karma. So thanks for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always happy when I posted Onion and a lot of people upvoted it. And I'm like, hey, people like this, right? But then there was also those times where like think that something's funny, but it really isn't, and I'm like, fuck, it's not getting anything.
That's the thing about humor in general. Sometimes you land, sometimes you don't, and
Right.
on a regular basis, like you're doing things daily as well. Sometimes there'll just be things that don't quite hit, and that's fine. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, I think like the second ever DR Onion was like a joke about not being able to find a hidden Monokuma, and I found that hilarious, but it only got like 20 upvotes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that kind of sucks,
pretty
but
sure
I mean,
I'm pretty sure I upvoted. I got your back, buddy.
yay. All right, let's go on to question number 6, I believe. Yep. So, like, what's the reasoning behind your username?
Oh, originally I've actually used Laughing at Salad for uploading like videos. I've got it on Twitch as a name if I ever do streaming.
Right.
But it just comes from one of my favorite meme trends that has like little to no explanation, where people just get all manner of stock pictures of just attractive, nice looking women holding a
Right.
bowl of salad and laughing.
Oh,
Or did, and I know that the intent here is like this person is very happy with this healthy food. You should eat healthy food and you'll be happy. But at the same time, it's like, why is that salad so funny?
yeah. I think I know what kind of
And
memes you're talking about.
yeah, it's the same kind of picture just over and over and over again. And it's like,
Yeah, it's honestly, I don't know why it's funny, but it is.
I think when you've got something that it's a bit odd, it's difficult to explain, but it becomes a trend and people just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. If you can understand one image, you understand them all, but strange thing to be a trend,
Yeah.
to have like a singular format. Yeah, that's where my name comes from. I just find that funny for some reason.
Wow, okay. I mean, like, I don't know. People like always have like there's always a broad range of people's like where their backstory comes from. It's always like it's never like usually in the middle for me. It's always something like, oh, I just found it funny, or something like actually meaningful.
Yeah, I mean, the username I used on the internet for like years and years at this point was just my name. So changing it to this is like, it's almost like a shift in identity, but
Right.
at the same time, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
but
I
people
would
find it funny too.
I would talk about my other name, but I mean like I would talk about like my username, sorry. But I kind of want to save that for a podcast, so who knows.
Oh yeah, that's we got a lot more time on the podcast than we would have here.
Yep.
we've only just done question 6, and I know we said we weren't going to try and spend too much time on everything. We're starting to spend a lot of time on everything.
Yeah. All right. I think
Fault.
that's
My fault. I'm a talker sometimes. And
that's a good indicator, though, that I should probably move on to question 7. Right. So, do you have any like goals or dreams for your Reddit account?
I would say as long as I can continue to, this is something I put into my regular life in general. If I can keep creating things that make people laugh, that people can get some enjoyment out of, some entertainment,
Right.
I'm doing something that I enjoy, and that is with DNN
Right. I mean, like,
laugh. And ultimately, that's as far as like I'm not that bothered about followers. I'm not that bothered about karma. I, being involved in the community and make people laugh and have.
all right. Question number 8. Right. Let's go. Um, let's do it. Just a few general questions here. So, what's your favorite genre of music?
Music's a pretty big thing for me. Like when I first started, I was like 16, 17, starting to come into my own more about who I am, what I'm about as a person. I gravitated a lot towards heavy metal.
Right.
And since then, it's always been my main love is based around rock music.
I love rock.
Into punk, I've been big into like a lot of indie stuff, even going back to the sort of classic rock of the 70s and 80s. If it's got a guitar in it, I'm good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anything that could show up potentially on like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtrack, just
that's
put it
that's.
in my head.
I mean, like for me, it's just mainly like I think I've talked about this mainly like on the podcast server, but I don't think everyone's seen it. But like mainly for me, it's mainly like rock and rap. That's the huge things for me.
That's like there's genres I don't necessarily listen to as much, but I in that fold. Like I'm not a huge country fan, but you can throw some Brad Paisley or Rascal Flatts at me and I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, for me, it's like I've always been a rock fan, like since a kid, right? Like as a kid, I was more into like the Beatles and stuff like that, but now I'm more
Oh,
into
totally.
yeah. And now I still like the Beatles, but I'm now more into other bands right now. Like right now, like Primus. Primus is good.
Premise is a very cool band. Les Claypool is a maniac, and I love it.
Yeah, but I kind of
My
got
my.
into
Oh, sorry, you
yeah
go.
yeah I got into rap kind of recently. Like I feel like when I was like 13, I don't know, like I'm gonna say 13, people start at my school just started listening to rap just to be cool, and I was like, huh, maybe I should start listening to it. And then I actually really like it.
Sometimes the things you enjoy, like it can come from a strange place, and you don't necessarily know what you're getting yourself in for. But uh, yeah, as long as you end up enjoying it,
Yeah,
that's a good thing to have.
yeah. For me, just music is all about enjoyment, and I really like music in general.
Totally.
Actually, yeah. Well, especially Ibuki music, but let's not talk about that yet. That's another question.
We'll get there.
All right,
No, I
so
know it's on the question list. We'll get to it.
all right, I think I'm not. Yep, question number 9 we kind of answered, which is like, who do you prefer in your favorite genre?
Well, specific bands it varies a lot, but I've always been a big fan. Regular rotation will be things like Bad Religion, Real
Right.
Big Fish, Interpol, and then sometimes I'll just throw a playlist. I don't know, best of Slayer, best of just metal or ska or skate park punk in general.
Ooh,
The things that like, if I'm in the mood for something, I'll just get my hit, and it doesn't really matter who's doing it because
right,
Spotify actually picks good songs for their playlists.
right. Honestly, yeah, I don't actually have any clear favorites or anything in like rack and rock, rap and rock. Sorry, but
You got it.
yeah, but I think it's just like honestly, I just feel like whatever era I want to listen to. If I'm listening to like 80s, 90s rap at sometimes. I feel like it, but then sometimes I'm listening to like even earlier rock and stuff.
Like I sometimes I'll go on a kick of like I don't know, I'll listen to Van Halen.
Ooh,
Just whatever fits the mood
yeah, yeah.
in the most innocent way possible, of course.
Well, okay. Now let's go to number 10. This was a hard question for Hajime, I believe. But what's your favorite game of all time?
Hard question for me too. I'm not gonna lie. Games a lot, and sometimes the game I think is my favorite of all time, I start to see the flaws in, and like, is it really my favorite? But no, I'm gonna stick with my gut and go Spyro 2.
Ooh,
Or just in general, I can now with the release of Reignited back in November, the entire trilogy, because I actually think Reignited made it really good all around. Like fixed a lot of the kinks with the controllers or like the control scheme in general. And of course, like I enjoy the Danganronpa trilogy and all that.
mm,
Obviously, I wouldn't be a part of the community if I thought it was trash, but I think it always will go back to Spyro.
ooh. I
Actually,
mean,
playing it as a kid, and
I like. I'm gonna. I said that in the Hajime podcast. I said that Civ 5 is my favorite game, and it totally is.
actually downloaded Civ 6 on the Switch, and I'm trying to learn my way around that now. So
Yeah, once you like really get into Civ, you really get into Civ. You know.
it's definitely one of those you can definitely sink into it. And if I don't know if I'll get to that point where it's like I my toe, you know?
Yeah. Well, actually, Civ 5, I'd like to tell a story of. I'm kind of. This is why I think it's my favorite game. Is because I'm like literally addicted to it when I play. But I think like one time it was like around noon at good old noon in Calgary, right? And I decided to just open up a game of Civ 5, and then I swear like moments later my mom walked into my room and said, "It's midnight. What are you doing?"
No, it can there are games like that that can get you, but if it is that sort of thing where you can get so immersed that time is irrelevant,
Yeah.
you are having an enjoyable experience and that is a good game for you. Like
Right.
match for what sort of things you enjoy.
Yeah, I'd say the only game that really comes close to me for Civ 5 would be Pokemon Platinum. I really enjoyed that as a kid.
But I actually don't think I ever played Platinum, but I played the hell out of Diamond.
Right. I mean, just Gen 4 in
Also the
general
hell
is
out of
great.
X.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
hell out of a lot of Pokemon games.
yeah, Pokemon games are just really a good time burner. Kind of just have fun with it, honestly.
Like I'm not particularly one for grinding in games, but
Right.
Pokemon's something I always seem to go back to for some reason.
Yeah. All right, let's go to question 11. This is a kind of a weird question, but whatever, because this is to my biases, whatever. But what's your favorite drink?
Drink?
Yep.
Was that I'm partial to like a Lipton lemon iced tea.
Right.
I'm just like that's something I've really got into a couple years back. Um I actually don't I actually get quite picky with my drinks because I don't drink alcohol.
Right.
I just made that a life choice.
Yeah, I don't drink
Really?
either, but
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, you're a
underage. Yeah.
minor, so there's definitely technicalities involved in that situation. I don't know, maybe. And I don't drink a lot of fizzy stuff just because of
Yeah.
general doesn't like it. So I've always had to be quite picky about it. But yeah, like fruit juices,
Mm,
iced tea, I'm all about that.
right. Yeah. I've been a huge cola fan, so that's just me. I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, yeah, I'm underage and I can't drink anyways, but I don't really see the appeal anyways. So,
And so that's I was very much the same way when I was a wee lad, and being I think when you're around people who do a lot of it, that can definitely steer your opinion. Like I I was never going to be a massive drinker anyway because I'm not that into like the social environment that surrounds it.
Same, yeah.
But then I come from a place where the majority of the nightlife is going out and getting absolutely.
Yeah, for me, like, I don't think I've had any, like, bad incidents with, any, like, drunk people or anything like that, but just for me, I just never found the appeal.
Yeah, no, I haven't necessarily had bad experiences.
Yeah,
I don't want to get too deep into that well because I don't want to get too heavy on it. You can definitely see that happen with people, and it can be a bad time.
right. Alright, let's head on to question
Yeah,
12, I believe?
on a lighter topic.
Yep. Okay, question 12. Who is the best girl?
Oh god, these are the questions that I was not prepared for
Right.
because like I think especially as in the community, people can ask you on a regular basis like, "Who's your waifu?" And it's like that most of them are 16, 17, and I'm like, um, there's a lot of options I legally can't say. But no, my
There's an
favorite.
easy out. There's an
Oh
easy
yeah,
out
like
from you. If you choose a Buki, then I'll be like, yes. But yeah, go ahead.
I know there's an Ibuki question. We'll get there. Don't worry about it. I
Yeah.
My best girl is always either going to be like Tenko or Mahiru,
Right.
and I don't don't remember exactly what is about them individually. Like I guess with Mahiru, it's the fact that she's a lot more like she comes off more chill than a
Right.
lot of as far as eccentric personalities. She's a bit more relaxed.
The most realistic.
Yeah, I definitely say that's an appeal of her. I think like similar thing with Tenko, like the free time events really round out the character well.
Right.
So I just think her relationship with emotions is really interesting and
Yeah.
really enjoy. She's also like really funny,
Yeah. Honestly,
really funny.
Techo. Yeah, Techo's a huge part of making like me laugh in V3 next to Miyu.
And with like her free time events as well, like obviously like her I hate all men. Like that can definitely rub people the wrong way. I play the free time events, learn about all of that. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. For some reason, people like kind of underrate V3 in my opinion. But I think like V3 is such a good game to me.
V3, they probably people probably see it as them trying to put too much into it. Like it's definitely a lot
Right.
more grandiose compared to the first games as far as like trying to do concepts, be a bit more out there in terms.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I think I enjoyed it a little more because like when I play a game in a series, I try not to compare it with the past games and try to like think of it as its own game. So like V3 is a little
Yeah, I think it's very fair to do that as well. But then
yeah, I guess when you compare it it might be a little worse, but to me it's just a really good game in general.
like I think if you can separate it, that's definitely helpful on giving you a good judgment of it. But at the same
Right.
time, like excuse me, every sequel of the games, they definitely drag the connection with the previous games into it somehow. So it's
Oh
hard not to
yeah.
compare them.
I guess you're right. I mean, I originally thought V3 was going to be its like own completely separate game, but then it still got connected, so
But and even then, it's only in a way right at the end.
right.
So you don't have to like put it so much in a battle for comparison.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to good old question 13. So
That
like
was the best girl question. Where are we going to
yeah,
get with the best boy question?
the question 13 now. Who is the best boy?
Um, God, that's. Well, I'm just going to go for Yuhiko.
Oh yeah, Fuyuhiko is definitely a good
Go
one.
for Yuhiko. Like he has one of the better character arcs
Right.
out of all of them, and the storytelling of it is relatively straightforward. But yeah, just like how he develops and sort of the sort of person he really is, definitely definitely resonates and definitely has a very good place in a story like that. So
Right.
it was he was very enjoyable to watch for all manner of reasons.
I gotta stop putting my input into so many things because I need to keep some of my thoughts to myself for the actual podcast.
Well, absolutely. Like we could absolutely just ramble on about every single thing, but
Yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah,
I
I think we
don't. You don't have to overload all of the conversation at once.
yeah. Okay, I think we're on question 14. Yeah, we are.
Team now, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So like, out of all the Ultimate titles, what's the best one? You think?
Fluent progeny, give me the money, bitch.
Well,
His title, his talent is that he's rich.
right. That would actually. I
So
never thought of that.
that is a foolproof success story right there. Just give me the money. I'm good.
I mean, can't go wrong with money, honestly.
Yeah, but as far as like actual practicality goes, oh, Hajime also said gamer. So that would be an enjoyable one, I guess. If I could be better at any of them, I probably would say musician.
Oh, I like that. I like that very much.
I know you like that. I know why you like that.
That's a very good answer.
I love music anyway, and if it was to Ibuki's tastes,
Right.
I'm not against that kind of music either.
Yeah.
So even if it was that, yeah, I'd probably take it.
Okay, let's go to question 15, which is basically the opposite. Like, if you had to make a new title, like, or like want to make one, whatever, right? What would that title be?
Reason, I think it would be really funny to have a
Yeah.
student whose talent is the ultimate killing game mastermind.
Yeah. Just get the.
Everything that entails. Like they're not the actual mastermind of the killing game that they're in. That's just their talent.
Oh my god, it's like the previous killing game, but not anymore.
Like somehow the mastermind of this game survived
Right.
and killed right at the end. They've gone on to a new killing game and they have to convince people that they're not the mastermind, even though it's almost like you've got a neon sign above their head saying, I'm an evil piece of shit and I organize these things, but not this.
I mean, that would actually be pretty funny when I think about it.
The number of opportunities you could get out of that just from a writing standpoint,
Yeah.
it,
It's like
it tickles me for some reason.
it's like they're like revealing ultimate titles, but then they're like, wait, no, not me. And then it's like, nope. We're on question 16, right?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
I've lost track.
Yeah, we are on. Okay, so like I've assumed you've watched DR3, like the anime.
Oh yeah, the anime.
Yeah. Well, like that's the one with Junko and stuff.
First anime I've watched in like years before they got me back into that.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. How would you actually like prevent the killing game from happening?
So here's my plan.
Right.
I would get a time machine. I would go back even decades to Japan,
Right.
change their opinions on homicide, more accepted, and become more accepted as time goes on.
Right.
Situation when you come back, Ko trying to hold Sakakura's love of Munakata over his head
Right.
won't be a factor as much anymore because
Oh.
being gay isn't that big of a deal. So when Munakata asks him about Junko, he won't be afraid to say, "Oh yeah, she's absolutely guilty as hell."
Oh wow. And that's actually like pretty that's much more detailed and like kind of less risky than just straight up shooting Junko.
I mean, whatever works. And at the same time, like shotguns are easier to come by than time machines, so I don't know who's right.
Well, I mean, like this is a question
One or the
about
other.
like how would you, right? It's not like I'm not taking into account like if stuff exists or not.
I mean, at the same time, we've got robotic teddy bears running around telling people to murder. The level of reality we're working on here isn't particularly detailed in itself.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's a good plan. I'd actually never thought of that.
I think when you're trying to counter something like that, you've got to think about all the little points where it could break down. Like
Right.
if with Junko holding that over Sakakura's head, like all that would he would need to do is say, "I know she's guilty," but
Oh,
I do know that it's put in there because it is more of a big deal in Japan. It's
right.
treated more of a big deal in that sense,
Yeah.
and just change those opinions, make people a bit more accepting of it. That's there's less emotional like blackmail.
Right. Yeah, Junko has nothing to go off of now.
Exactly. She's got a reduced number of bargaining chips.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say not nothing, but I mean like, yeah, less certainly.
She's
Well,
still a very manipulative, very like persuasive,
right.
has those powers, but things are a little bit easier.
All right. So like question 17, Hajime got through this through a loophole, but all right. So if you had to choose hope or despair,
Oh, I reject both hope and despair. No, I think
why again?
it's always the third option. Always the third option.
Right.
I think that as far as just emotions in general go,
Right.
you've got to take the rough with the smooth. So
Right.
as it is good to maintain hope, it is good to maintain optimism. Sometimes you're going to go through things that are despairing.
Right.
In a lot of cases, it's healthier just to let those emotions ride out. The case of rejecting despair, it's a case of how to manage it and know how to live through it, because that's ultimately the most important thing at the end of it.
Right. I mean, like if you completely reject despair and it comes in all of a sudden, you're not going to be prepared at all.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it, at least.
I was thinking, like, how could you I want them both equally. How would that work?
What you could do in that situation, you could just bake me a bunch of cookies and then just throw them all immediately in the trash. Like you get your hope fix because cookies are great, and you get your
Right.
despair fix because the cookies are gone. Boom.
But you got to
That's
eat at
probably not
least
the
like
best
one of them.
example, but at the same time, you know.
Yeah, you got to at least eat one of them, so you do have that hope.
Well,
And then,
you need to know how good they taste and that you can't have any more.
right. Okay.
We get detailed. We get detailed on this.
Wow, this is an interesting response. Okay, so I'm pretty sure your best girl is I'm pretty sure you said your best girls would be like Mahiru or Tenko, right? So question
What question
eight
is next?
yeah, this is question 18. So let's say like your best girl, your best boy, whatever, I'm not sure who's your favorite actually, right? Whatever, for a reason they don't exist. Would you still be into Danganronpa or would you like
Oh, absolutely. Like, there's enough of a cast that like interesting personalities wherever you go. So
right,
and a lot of enjoyment no matter what sort of thing you're looking for. And if say, character like Tenko doesn't show up, okay, I can enjoy the antics of somebody else. So I don't think there's specific characters that hold up the quality of the games. There's just a lot of characters that are really good. Still enjoy the rest.
yeah, that's a good outlook. Yeah, I'm gonna say like I actually kind of wanted to get into this, but I never got the chance on the previous one. But I'd probably still like Danganronpa even if Ibuki didn't exist. But honestly, I'd probably like it a much less. Like I'd still like it, but like not at the level I do right now.
That I can understand that.
Yeah, I literally worship Ibuki as a god. So I mean,
I'm aware. No, I've been following your career with great interest.
well, speaking of which, question 19. Here's the question we've been hyping up. Is Ibuki epic?
So I'm hijacking question 19. Scrax, this is an intervention.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So Ibuki is a really good character,
yay! Good
and
answer.
I'll be honest with you. Like when I first played Island Mode, hers
Right.
was the first ending I unlocked. She was the one I was most interested to complete that with. free time events are some of my favorites. Just as an overall package, not necessarily for backstory purposes, but just who she is as a character. And
I can understand that.
yeah, like, and I, for anybody who hasn't played them before, I would urge to definitely do so. Yeah,
I mean, straight up, if you hate Ibuki, I'm coming for you. Just know this if you're listening right now.
if you hate Ibuki, Max will probably let you on the podcast, but it'll be like 200 decibels the entire time. Just be prepared for anybody out there listening who's interested in getting involved. This is what you have to work with.
You better like Ibuki or I'll punish you with a bad microphone or something like that. I don't know, like purposely mess it up.
Ultimate despair.
Alright, I think this is finally question 20. We're at this.
Got there. We're doing it.
Yay! But what do you think of the podcast? Like whatever, like whether it be this 20 questions or just the podcast in general.
What you guys are doing at the podcast on the approach to not necessarily being more about the game and talking about that, and more being a that has been built up on the subreddit is really cool to me, because it's a good community and it's got very interesting people in it. I will say, as someone who is a bit older, I was listening to the one you just did with Auntie and King, was there as well. And there were a lot of cases where I had no fucking idea what you guys were talking about.
I mean,
that's a point of me getting older and not being able to keep up with the memes of today.
Right.
Maybe it's just different generational things as well, but like, I'm the sort of person who had to ask what yeet means. How am I supposed to keep up?
I'm just gonna say with that podcast, Auntie was like generally one of the most hilarious guests I've ever had. Even though it's in these limited episodes, I think Auntie was like genuinely hilarious.
No, he's a funny dude. And as the part of the whole waifu grab, I saved Hifumi for him for a reason.
Ooh.
He's earned his spot, you know?
Yeah. He's a good dude. And I can't wait till this week's podcast, I believe. I don't know.
Do you want to reveal the guests now?
I mean, I feel like I'm always gonna reveal it via like the ad posters I do.
Oh, right? The images you put on the sub. Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna do it that way. Also, if you're in the server, you'll probably know by like who has the guest role, right?
It's that the r/danganronpa podcast Discord server, very specific one. If you're not in it, be in it. There's your tagline.
I mean, like,
be in it.
Yeah, be honestly be on the server so you can like you're up to date with everything. Like you'll get stuff early, possibly. Maybe I do Discord exclusives a few times.
Also, just getting involved in the community. Like, there's a lot of regular people and very cool people who show up just in the general chat, you know. So it's a cool place to be.
Yeah. All right, I think this is where we're gonna end it here. So,
inviting me on. This has been enlightening, I'm sure, for multiple people.
No, honestly, you're a good guest. Like, obviously, I'm always like with guests. I'm always kind of like weary in a way because I'm not sure how people will do. But honestly, you've been fine. Honestly, you're just a great person to talk to. So thank you.
Fine is a great adjective.
Well,
congratulations, you are passable.
No, man. Well, that'll be it for the 20 questions, and yeah, see ya.